Welcome all to ForexSignalsKing.com and another video about Forex. This video we're gonna talk about the Euro Pound, the Great British Pound, and when to sell it. As I don't know, most of you or just a bunch of you know that there have been very clear relative waves going on the Euro British. There have been a very clear waves, especially on the daily time frame, and we're gonna take a very deep and closer look about these nice Elliott waves. As you can see, I'm on tradingview.com charts. It's a very nice website that gives you very nice and very cool tools, you know. And as you can see, I'm gonna zoom in a little. I already drew the Elliott waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The big 5 Elliott waves, and we are waiting for the corrective Elliott waves. I have talked about the Great Britain Japanese. It also have been forming some nice Elliott waves, and the corrective waves. I talked about it, and it already corrected. And the movement in the Great Britain yen, in the pound yen, were extremely big. It was extremely big, man, in the pound yen. We can take a look about it in another video. This video we're gonna talk about the Elliott waves in the Euro Pound. As you can see, on daily time frame, there is an up first wave starting from November 19th, 2015, then started retracement in December 21, then the third big wave started on January 1st, 2016, at the first of this year, and reached its highest high at February 25th from this year. Then this retracement, this big retracement, kinda how big, which is very normal to the first wave in Elliott waves. If anyone has some experience in Elliott waves, it is extremely normal to see somehow a big first wave. But to be honest, this is not very big in compared to average Elliott waves, but it is a decent one, decent retracement, which can somehow deceive some people who are not able to see the big picture that is going on in the chart. It is not a retracement, so anybody can be deceived that it is not a retracement and it is a start of a new downward trend, if you know what I mean. If someone is not 100% experienced, 100% able to see the big picture, a trader who is not 100%, I don't know, maybe he's got more experience than most other traders, or maybe just skillful, he will not be able to see these Elliott waves. Anyhow, enough talking about unexperienced traders, and let's talk about making some real good profits. As you can see, the first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, and the last fifth wave. So 101 Elliott waves 101 is after reaching the highest high of the fifth wave, it will go all the way down in corrective waves A, B, C, and it will be corrected, the Elliott corrective waves. Let's make an assumption it will reach this high, and I'm gonna talk about it later, but for just sake of argument, we're gonna say the correction waves will start from here. The first one, A, B, and the last one must exceed the fourth wave. So it must be lower than this area. When will it reach? About 80 or 70% of all cases, it reaches the start of the first wave and maybe even go lower. So this will be our first target, about this area. 0.76500. But first of all, let's talk together. When will it start going down? When will this fifth wave end? Well, there's two ways we can handle this. There's two ways we can handle this. About a big ratio of Elliott waves states that the first wave is as long as the fifth wave, which means we can measure the length of this first wave and predict that the fifth wave will be the same length, meaning it will reach about this area at the 0.882, which is about 80 pips over the 0.8. Well, this is one way to think about it, but another way, which is extremely more professional way, a trader can target his targets is looking at strong resistance, strong support areas, which of course, as I have stated before, pivot points. They are extremely handful, extremely strong tools in the hand of any good trader. Pivot points. Well, on the daily chart, there is a strong resistance point at 0.798, which does extremely make sense because every time 0.8 couple of zeros, 0.79 couple of zeros, 0.81 couple of zeros, it is always an extremely strong resistance point. So first point, we can think about it as a strong resistance, as a strong area which will retrace from, which will form the new downward trend, can be the 0.800. We can place this one here, which also agrees with this first pivot point, second pivot point, third pivot point, and I'm sure if I go backward in the chart, I will see I can see more other pivot points on the orange line, about the orange line. Well, this area, 0.800, maybe some plus 50 pips over it, and maybe some minus 50 pips lower it. So this is extremely strong area. Because the next big other move will be at 0.81 couple of zeros, maybe about this area, 0.82. This is the next big area, 0.82 on the daily frame, which I'm sure if I went backwards, more maybe zoom out, I don't know what you can call it, zoom out in the chart, go on the weekly time frame, I'm sure I'm gonna see strong areas about this. The first one, of course, it's extremely strong resistance point at this area, and the 0.0, which of course I said 50 pips upward, 50 pips lower around this orange line. You can see the tails of the candles. It's extremely strong. It have been a support before, and a resistance next, a resistance next, a resistance, and we suspect it to be also our new resistance. As I've said, if it breaks this resistance, next big target, the target will be around this one, about the 82 couple of zeros, extremely far away, and it will I don't know, it will not be the Elliott waves we are seeking. It will not be Elliott waves, because if we reach this area, the fifth wave will be extremely strong, extremely tall, I mean, compared to the first one, and maybe the same height, the same length of the third one, which can devalidate the Elliott waves concepts of having the third wave at the tallest one, the fifth wave, and the first at about the same length. So we now are in some sort of we are now convinced that our next big target will be about around the 0.8 zeros, 0.8 thousand, which is extremely strong and sensitive area for the Euro Great Britain, and I can see that I'm 100% sure it will not break this area, but it will form the new downward trend for the Euro Great Britain. Right now we can go, of course, deeper. Right now it will be zoom in, not zoom out. It will be zooming in the chart and try to make sense of all what we are saying. We have decided that our next target for this fifth wave will be around the 0.8 couple of zeros. You can see some pivot points about resistance here at the 0.750 and 0.7950, another 40 pips, another 30 pips, 0.7980, then 20 pips till our target 0.800. Right now it's about 0.79 925 something, so there's about 75 pips till our target. When will it reach it? Maybe in a couple of days. It will not reach it. I don't suspect it will reach it. I don't predict it will reach it in day or two. Maybe a couple of days. Maybe it will reach it at the end of this week. I don't know. But this is our target. It can go. It can reach only this area. These are also a very strong area for the 4-hourly time frame. As I said before, it will be plus 50 pips, minus 50 pips, though we can make sure it will be around this area. So Euro Great Britain, the fifth wave of Elliott waves on the Euro pound, the Euro Great British pound, will be around this area. Then it will retrace. So let's right now put on our chart the corrective Elliott waves, which in average they are 3 waves. The first one will reach this orange line somehow. It can be lower, it can be higher, whatever, but we are dealing with human behavior. Market is just human behavior, so it is probabilities. It is probabilities theory. Okay, so we can predict it will go. Of course, it will be lower than the start of the end of the third wave. So it can go about this strong support area, then retrace back a little, then go all the way down. Maybe it will be lower than this. The first corrective wave can be around. The force can be lower than the force, can be over it. It doesn't have a very strong, a very strong rule, but in a high probability it forms some head and shoulders pattern with the end of the third wave as left shoulder, with the end of the first wave at the head, with the start of the C wave and end of B wave as the right shoulder. About high probability cases, it form this head and shoulders pattern in a very large number of charts. So We are not 100% sure it will form head and shoulders, but we are 100% sure it will be around this area, so it can be about this strong resistance point or support point, or this point. Let's put it here right now. The retracement, as I said, it can be head and shoulders, so it can be go as high at the end of the third wave, or it can go just at this point. Let's, for sake of argument, make it go here, and the C wave must and 100% must reach lower than the start of the start of the fifth wave, which is end of the fourth wave. So we are 100% sure that the next big movement will go down, then retrace back, then go all the way down, which is lower than the end of the fourth wave. This will be our first target. Our next target will be the end of the first already wave of Elliott, which will be here. Our third target, if Great Britain, if Euro pound decided to create a bearish Elliott wave, will be the first one, second one, third one will go all the way here. Then you can go see fourth and fifth, and it is a very big movement downward. But we are not sure about this, because this means euro is very strong and euro is very weak and pound is very strong, which is not the case right now. Right now we have the Brexit going on, which is not very cool for the Great British pound. It says, or it predicts, a very weak movement for the coming months about the pound. So I'm not in favor of this scenario that the pound is very strong compared to the euro. I'm actually in favor of some scenario. I'm actually pro for a scenario in favor for euro, because I predict that the euro is going higher and higher, and this is not the time to sell the euro. It is a time to buy euro. So right now we are getting back to our chart. We know that the euro British is in its fifth wave, reaching another higher high for finishing its last and fifth wave of this big uptrend that has started on November 2015 and has been going on for about maybe 5 months and couple of days. Then it will reach its end and go down. So right now we will wait till euro British pound reaches this area, and we see a big candle on the daily time frame has been formed here. Downward, we will go all the way down. For all of you who like to take a look at oscillators, who know about divergence, if you don't know about divergence, as I've said before, I will make a video, maybe some educational videos about basics of forex and reading charts in general, and will include the divergence. But for you who know about divergence, there is a very strong divergence on the also squeezed oscillator right here, and I'm not sure about other oscillators, but I'm 100% sure the MACD also has been forming a strong divergence signal on the daily time frame for the euro pound. You can see it's extremely clear, the divergence, a higher high on the price action chart, a higher high, but on the oscillator a lower high, which means this high is lower than the previous high, and the last high is lower than the previous high. So there is something called divergence, which is a divergence in the price. Divergence is a mathematical. It is a mathematical property which includes a difference between, how it can be told that in simple way. Just decrease in speed. Momentum is weak. The speed you are going on is getting weaker and weaker and weaker, so that the speed of getting higher in prices is getting weaker, which means there is signal that this speed can reach zero and go negative, which means in our market language a trend reversal. The speed can go in the other direction. The trend is gonna reach the other direction. So you can also take a look about some oscillators. It will form another high which will be lower than this one. Maybe it will reach this level on the daily time frame about maybe 2-3 days from this from now. Then it will start going down, and it will go down. It will be extremely strong reversal point, because a lot of people will sell from this area. A lot of people will place from now spending selling orders. So just make sure. I don't like taking this kind of risk to put some selling orders from here, but it is a way of trading. You can put the selling or pending selling order here, but stop loss plus 50 pips over here and take profit about this area, as I've said before, which is extremely nice and attractive trade, you know. But anyhow, I'm a scalper, so I just go with the trend when it not from the very start of it, but at the middle of it. That's how I trade, and that's how I like it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you gained some new information. I hope you got you are able to see the bigger picture. If you have anything to share with me, some comments, anything you want to say, I'm very pleased to speak and communicate with you. Have fun.